What's up, gamers? How the heck are you? Welcome to another grounded video. It's happening. The update is coming. So we've gotten a teaser from the live stream. I talked about that. We've gotten pictures posted, but I wanted to wait until Wednesday's full talk with Adam so that we could get all the details of everything that's coming out with this update. And there are some things being added that I never thought were coming to Grounded. I am so excited about this. This is incredible. This is probably this is going to be my favorite update of all time, even though it is so small. For the majority of this video, I want to talk about some of the main features coming to the new update. It's called a holiday treat, and I cannot wait. They are going to be dropping it. They're going to be dropping the public test servers on the 29th of November, so this month, which is crazy. But I figured it would I didn't know I thought we were getting no more test servers. So I thought we were done with test servers, but that's not true. If you go to Grounded's main webpage, they actually have a public test server section. You just click the link once they post it, and that's how you can set yourself up. For Xbox, you have to download Xbox Insider onto your Xbox and join that way. But if you want to wait, it only lasts a week. If you want to wait a week later, they'll drop the full update soon. So they're going to probably drop it the first week of December, which is crazy, but they're getting in there for the holiday. And I think there's going to be a lot of things added cosmetic-wise that's going to be holiday spirit, which is really cool. So I'm super excited about that. I think it's going to be super fun. So anyway, let's talk about the main things of this of the whole update that I'm super excited about. Number one thing, we knew this. We're going to get this one out of the way. Bigger backpacks. That's amazing. And they've confirmed it. This will be a default. This is just going to be added from the start of the game. You will just have a larger backpack. They basically stated that based on how much resources you have to carry, how much stuff you have in your, in terms of weapons and things like that, it just made sense to just add extra backpack space. Now, this wasn't something I ever thought I needed. I felt like it was okay. I dealt with it. I didn't have that big of a problem with it. I always suggested that maybe things in your hotbar are no longer counted in your backpack, but this is basically doing that. By adding that extra row at the bottom, it's basically just saying, hey, you now have that extra slot. In a sense, it doesn't necessarily take it. It's not the same thing, but it is in my eyes. I mean, I feel like the same thing. But so they also added multiple hotbars. I don't know how much I'll utilize that yet. I'll have to play with it a little bit to see if that's something I'm interested in. I may do something like if I'm going into a fight or something like that. You have your main, you have your main weapon hotbar, but then you have like a healing bar or something like that. I don't know. I'll have to see how fluid it is for fights, because a lot of times you have to get heals and stuff like that off pretty quickly. So stuff like, I'll have to play with that to really know how if I'm going to like that at all. But I love the idea of new, bigger backpacks. I love the idea that I don't have to really go find something for it. It's just something you're kind of given, which is really cool. That was nice of them to add that. And I think it's a great quality of life. Just wonderful thing to add. Ziplines. That is one of the biggest things. It's not my biggest thing. We'll talk about my favorite thing in just a moment. But one of the largest things is zipline movement. You will now be able to move up the zipline. So you can slide down it as always, but then you'll be able to move up it. Now, a lot of people talked about how weird this would look, how the art design is going to look awful. So you've watched a few of the YouTube videos out there that people have, where they've shown off like some old clips of this idea happening, and it just kind of looked very stale. But people have to understand that that's not the final product. Like, even what they showed us in these clips right here, these aren't the final products. Like, they said that the art design isn't completely done, but you have to understand, like, they're not going to make it look generic. They want their game to be just as beautiful as we do. It's not going to look stupid. There's going to be a reason behind it. And that's been Adam's main thing this whole time, and the entire Grounded team, is that they don't just add things to add things. There has to be a reason it's there, or why it works that way. A lot of the things you see in this game, especially like mechanic-wise, have a purpose for how they look in a certain way. So just going up the zip line, they would have to design a way to make it look. And I think having that little aphid on a wheel is an ingenious idea. That is not how I envisioned it, but that just shows the creativity they have. I think it looks super funny. Granted, obviously we have to ignore the fundamental idea of like, where's this aphid go when you're not using the zip line and thing like that. But let's just hope it's like stored on the end of the zip line or something like that. But I think it's super cool. It looks super cool. I think it's funny. I love the fact that you can go. I don't utilize zip lines a lot because of this feature. I never loved the idea of building a bunch of towers, wasting my resources, wasting my time building these crazy towers just to zipline back and forth. But now if I can just build a tower and zipline down and zipline back up, that's more reasonable to me. I think this is an amazing feature. I'm so happy that it's coming. We kind of figured it was coming. It's been hinted at way too much for it not to. So I'm super excited about that. I think it's absolutely incredible. A+ for me. All right, guys, now we're here. We're here at the fundamental moment. The greatest thing to ever come to Grounded. I cannot believe this is happening, but it is. You can now block with your bow. When this update comes out, the 1.1 update, you will be able to block with your bow and your crossbow. It is absolutely incredible. I never thought this was going to happen. I will literally beat this entire game with just bow. That's it. That's the only, I said it from the start. I said that I will use a crossbow or bow in this game in no other weapon if I could block with it. Okay, I might use other weapons, but I hate that I can't block with it. I have preached about blocking with bows for so long, or a dodge roll or something like that, but I'm cool. Blocking with bow, I'm cool. You can't, so the how they fixed it or how they did it, because I always kind of wondered what you would have to remove or change. I didn't think about this, but you can't throw your bow anymore, and that's pretty much it. The difference is you can't throw your bow. That's fine. I never wanted to throw it anyway. So that option now is taken away. That is how you will change your arrows, and you'll block as you do normally with left trigger if you're on console. But I'm so excited. I'm like literally like I'm like running out of breath right now talking to you about this because I'm so excited about using this mechanic. I'm gonna try to beat every single boss this way and stuff like that, just because I always was afraid to use it because I couldn't block, but now you can. I mean, all right. Anyway, that is my number one thing. I know everybody's gonna be super excited about the zip lines and the more backpack space, but as an archer in this game and as a true archer in this game, I cannot wait for this feature to be fully added. I'm going to be testing the crap out of this and making sure that it works properly. I think it's absolutely incredible. And one other thing before we get into like the little cosmetic stuff like that, we are getting new traps. Now they did say there was a few more traps coming out, but they're not going to be showing them all off or even giving them all to us on this next update. But for what we saw them show off these new pine cone traps. They look absolutely incredible. And then the traps that we currently have, or the spike traps that we currently have, they're getting a little rework on them to make them a little more friendly towards us. I always thought it was kind of dumb that they hurt us so badly. I never use them. They're on my base a little bit to mess. That I was just messing around with, but they're not that viable. They break so easily for me. But hopefully these pine cone traps can stay, or I think they're called pine cone spikes. They hope they're a little more durable, and they seem like they'll be, because they're made with cement and pine cones. So they're two of the most in-game durable items that you can come up with. I mean, hey, improving that will make all raids a lot easier. All of your mixer defenses a lot easier. Things like that will be absolutely incredible. And I would love to line my base with cool traps and things like that to just make those defenses. Because as you progress in this game, raids get harder. And they become like more and more frequent, in my opinion. It's because you kill a lot more bugs and a lot more bugs get pissed off. So having these things is just absolutely incredible. So I can't wait for the future to see what new traps and what new fundamental things we'll get that'll just change everything for us. So one of the main things that's obviously going to come along with this update is going to be cosmetics or decorations and things like that. There was a ton of them they showed off. I'm not going to go over every single one of them. Go over some of the highlight ones. You're going to get a cool grandfather clock that actually tells in-game time. That's kind of a cool feature. It actually has an animation that shows the in-game time. So that's super cool. You get a drawer, like a nightstand that acts as a storage unit. It's the same as a chest that you would lay down, but it looks like a nightstand. So that makes your house feel a little bit more homier. There was some vases. Can't put anything in them, but they're just nice little decorations. Tons of new creature head mounts or wall mounts, and a lot of stuffed creatures are added. Another cool cosmetic, or not cosmetic, I guess, but a building item. You get now we're getting new mushroom stairs, and we're getting half stairs. So instead of having to build a full stair and hope, like trying to clip it into the ground, you now can do a half stair where maybe it won't clip into the ground as much. That's super cool. So we got new stairs and half stairs. They'll have the icons and everything like that for all the new half stairs. I think we are also getting new wall, which I think is going to be, I've heard people say that it's probably burr wall, which would make the most sense, being that's like the only material we don't really utilize in the walls as much. We have 5 now, so there'll be 6 total walls that we can use. And another big thing that was really cool they added was the sleep changes. You're allowed to sleep till 6 a.m. so you don't have to wake up in the middle of the night. That's really cool. I can't tell you, as a content creator in this game, and I try to show off things during the day, and then it gets night as I'm progressing, and then I have to sleep, but then I wake up at 5 o'clock and it's still night, so now I've got to wait an hour in game to even get me to a point where daylight's enough to show stuff off, because it's really annoying to show stuff off at night. But hey, they're looking into that stuff, and that is what this is all about. They are actually trying this stuff out. Now, I didn't go over every single thing they talked about when it comes to cosmetics. There were high points that I really wanted to hit and talk about, because it's absolutely incredible that looking the same. If people do not think that these are big changes, especially things such as like blocking with bows, like that's incredible. These are huge changes to the game. Zipline movements. These are great changes to the game. Great changes. There are plenty of things that people are going to try to complain about this game, but these are great changes to the game. They even talked about, Adam even came out and talked about mounts, creature mounts, which I didn't even think that was ever coming to Grounded. I don't ever see a need for it. I think traversing the yard is pretty easy for the most part. I think mounts is cool. I would love the idea of riding around on a red ant, soldier ant or something like that, and like, you know, fighting something on the back of it. I think that would be cool, but I don't think it's needed. Not every game has to have mounts. So that's a huge kind of thing that I've just felt that just it isn't needed. Gliders would have been cool, but he has talked about that. And the reason for, and grapple hooks is another thing, but the reason for these things is, and he went into a little bit of explaining of why this stuff hasn't been just implemented, is because there needs to be a reason for it. Because the pacing of the game relies heavily on how you can traverse the yard. So you have to think about it that way. Because if you could just end up mounting or riding a bunch of stuff, how you progress through the game changes, and the pacing of the game changes at that point. Like how much faster, how much quicker can you get to an area? So getting to certain points in the game are kind of reasons that they hold off on this stuff. So there needs to be a reason to have mounted creatures. So in terms of a future update, so I wouldn't hope for that stuff for anytime soon. That would probably be late next year, if that is something that's ever added, and maybe it's possibly on something that's like a DLC. Once the yard gets progressively larger, I think that's an idea that will definitely come in the future updates. So just look for that kind of things, guys. Anyways, guys, this is the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. I hope you're ready for the future of Grounded. I will definitely be going over when the public test servers drop. I will be going over all of this stuff, testing it all out, trying it out, dropping videos, and showing you guys exactly what it does, how it looks, how the bow fights advance, how cool that stuff is going to be. And I can't wait to try it all out and test it all out for you guys. So if you guys end up liking this channel and you want to see more content from me, you got to hit that like button. That's what YouTube says. If you end up liking me at all, go check out one of my other videos, see if you like that one too, and then hit that subscribe button, because hey, if you've watched 2 of them, you liked both of them, you gotta like me a little, all right? So hit that subscribe button, and as always, guys, I will gladly catch you in the next one. Peace out.